We have been invaded by millions upon millions of people, and he was elected to get them out. He was elected to get them out. And what some people are proposing is a backlog system that will never allow us to go to get them out.
You're describing illegal immigration, which has been around for a long time as an invasion, which is fine for you if you want to do that. But why is that unusual that there's a process to go through to deport people? I mean, that's actually just how the system works.
Do you know how long it takes for this process, this paperwork to get people out? The guy that we've all been weeping and gnashing teeth over, the guy we sent to El Salvador, was in the country 14 years illegally.
But what about
We've got millions of people who have gamed this system, and now we're going to give it
Either you believe in the Constitution or you don't.
I believe in the sovereignty of the United States, or you don't.
But do you believe in the Constitution?
I believe in the sovereignty of the United States, and I believe we've been.
And you don't believe that Donald Trump should abide by the Constitution?
Just a serious question.
Of course I do. And of course I believe.
Do you believe that he does?
And I believe that he will follow, just as he said, what the Supreme Court says. But the policy debate is worth having.
From the very beginning,
millions upon millions of people are here, and they will not leave, and he has to get them out.
I'm starting to think Democrats don't want to deport any illegal immigrants. In 2018, if you guys recall, Democrats, including Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Senator Kristen Gillibrand, pushed to abolish ICE. That same year, Senate Democrats blocked a vote on a bill that would have withheld federal funds from sanctuary cities that refused to comply with federal immigration law enforcement. And now we have this where they're lumping illegal with legal immigrants. I'm thinking these people don't want to deport all these illegal immigrants. That's what it is it not, Shelley?
Oh, no, the Democrats or the left certainly does not want to deport any, but let's not only blame them, because again, I'm going to stick it back to our Congress. This has been going on for decades. This is not new. Most of Congress and all of the progressives, none of them want to deport anyone because both sides benefit, whether it's low skilled labor, whether it's, hiring the people under the tables in the mansions around DC or whatever. This has been going on for decades. It could have been solved decades ago. It certainly is trying to be solved. President Trump this year, but it's most of Congress, all of the progressives. They want America to be, America.
Right. And then what about the whole due process thing? So we heard them continue the media talking points, as you always say, Nicole, these Democrat talking points about these illegal aliens not getting due process. Well, how much is due process? When we talk about the Maryland man, as they so in quotations for those listening, Garcia, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Yeah, I mean, the man was here for 5 years illegally. I mean, how much due process do you need?
He was probably here a lot longer than 5 years. He was here 5 years under this name. Names come and go, statuses come and go. They come and go across the border freely. So it's a very, very good chance that he's been here 10, 15 years and he just went undetected. But with all of that said, due process doesn't necessarily have to happen here in the United States. We can absolutely deport them to their home countries and set up a Zoom link, like we did during COVID with people who had court cases. If American citizens could have a trial by Zoom, illegals can definitely have an immigration by Zoom from their home nation, costing us absolutely nothing. I'm sure if we asked really nicely, Elon would tap Starlink, 3 little notches, and have them crystal clear from anywhere on the planet. This is what we're going to have to do. Send them back to their countries, and then we can have due process. No due process here on American soil.
That's a good point. That is a good idea, Nicole. Well, regardless of it all, President Trump is not playing around. So remember when the ladies on The View were drooling over the fantasy of Trump being locked up in Alcatraz, the huge jail that's been closed down for many, many years. Well, plot twist. Trump's not doing time. He's doing renovations, and it's illegals who might be checking in.
And so I think to make a point, to prove a point, put him in the clink. Oh, why not? Put him in the clink. Oh, yeah.
I don't want this to sound like I'm doing wishful thinking.
Yes.
But which prison would be best?
I know which one.
I'm gonna give you, Michael. Well, that's what I asked. Number one is Rikers. But you know, I'm okay if he goes to Alcatraz and they reopen it. You know? Maybe. You know, what about Guantanamo Bay? Okay.
Yeah. Well, that'd be close to Mar-a-Lago. Melania can come and visit.
That's right. What about Supermax? Supermax would be interesting. El Chapo was in Supermax. He, you know, hey, now he wants to be with the hip people. Come on.
You hear Whoopi Goldberg. This is people get mad. Black folks get mad when they're called gorillas and apes, and she had the nerve to do that. You know, don't do it. Don't do it. They got their wish. President Trump has directed the Bureau of Prisons to work alongside the Department of Justice, FBI, and Homeland Security to reopen Alcatraz. Here he is talking about it.
Very strong, very powerful in terms of law and order. Our country needs law and order. Alcatraz is, I would say, the ultimate, right? Alcatraz, Sing Sing and Alcatraz, the movies. But it's right now a museum, believe it or not. A lot of people go there. It housed the most violent criminals in the world, and nobody ever escaped. One person almost got there, but they, as you know the story, they found his clothing rather badly ripped up, and it was a lot of shark bites, a lot of problems. Nobody's ever escaped from Alcatraz, and just represented something strong having to do with law and order. We need law and order in this country. And so we're going to look at it. Some of the people up here are going to be working very hard on that. And we had a little conversation. I think it's going to be very interesting. We'll see if we can bring it back in large form, add a lot.
Open Alcatraz. And I have a suggestion. KJ, you got to humor me for just a second. Maybe Sunny and her husband might wind up there. Let me tell you why, particularly Sunny. On the previous episode of The View, when Governor Wes Moore was on there, Sunny mentioned that she bought her first home in Baltimore under this match program, right? And I'm looking into this match program. This match program is typically for people who have, I think it says 80% below poverty level. That's number one. What poverty level did she meet to qualify for that loan or that matching program? That's number one. Number two, as far as I can tell, again, I mean, I haven't dug into the deed records, but her home is in New York City. How did she buy a first-time home in Baltimore? Sounds to me like it's another scam with her friend Marilyn Mosby here. Maybe she and her husband might wind up in Alcatraz.
Wow, this might be breaking news. All right, now, well, we will continue to follow that.
I think it's a great idea. I think we need more beds, especially for criminal illegal aliens, places to house them that isn't a local jail. So we're not running, or ICE isn't running into interference from local authorities. I think it's a good look. You know, one of the funny things about the ladies, and I use that word loosely, on The View, trolling President Trump, is that, you know, there's enough criminality at them women sitting at that table that I wouldn't be betting on nobody opening up no new prisons. You know, I feel like there might be an indictment or two of some spouses that's sitting there at that table. But what's really funny is these are the same women who said that there was no lawfare against Trump, that there was nobody after him. And here we have you gleefully dancing a dance at the thought, just the mere thought of this man being in prison for what? For leading this nation back to a golden age? I don't think so. You know, it's shameful, but what do we expect from them? Notice how their crowd was going off, how their audience was cheering them on. I missed that part too. I think America's starting to turn on The View. We'll see what happens.
All right. Yes, we will be watching. Tyrone, I know you love the ladies of The View.
Look, you know, I do want to reemphasize Whoopi acting like a gorilla on purpose for whatever reason. Trump, you know, Trump can't allow you to have a piece of real estate that's better than some real estate he has. So he saw Bukele's prison and he said, you know what? I got an even better one. Mine's actually waterfront. And, you know, the wheels started turning with regard to Alcatraz. And from what I understand, he wants Alcatraz to be for American prisoners, violent felons. And I think that would send a heck of a message that, you know, how many visitors you getting out in Alcatraz? Okay. Not many, right? So I applaud that idea. There needs to be a real strong message sent to violent criminals in this country, because if you've noticed, that type of crime is getting more and more outrageous in terms of you got children. Okay, there was a child here in Baltimore that was just I'll say deleted for the purpose of so yeah, we need to start treating these people like they don't want to live in a civil society. Okay.
Exactly.
Alcatraz is a good place for them.
Absolutely.
Time out for sure.
And the order comes as Trump has repeatedly clashed with courts as he tries to send accused gang members and illegal migrants to the notorious prison in El Salvador. So the maximum security prison, which was shut down in 1963, will provide Trump a workaround to those court orders barring him from carrying out the mass deportation scheme. So I've heard both things as you have, Tyrone. So I'm not sure what he plans on doing, or maybe he's going to use it for both these illegals and legal criminal side.